Hello, 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 and welcome to Finding You Inside of You podcast, where we take the journey within to find ourselves for ourselves. And before we get right to it, hit that subscribe button if you will, and don't forget to like. Again, welcome to Finding You Inside of You. Today's topic is going to be, who do you see in the mirror? And I brought my personal mirror here as a demonstration. Essence Evolve, who do you see in the mirror? So why is that an important question to ask as we are discovering ourselves by going within and finding us inside of ourselves? An important question to ask. And I hope that as you are getting ready throughout your day from this day forward or night, wherever you happen to be, that when you look in the mirror, as you are washing your face or brushing your teeth or just looking in the mirror, begin to ask yourself, who do I see in the mirror? Do I see my genuine self? Or am I looking through the lenses of the world? And there is this saying that says, you cannot, or it is suggested that you do not be conformed to the world outside of you. And why is that? When you are conformed, you and I, anyone that's listening, when we are conformed to the world that is outside of us, we are depending on what is outside of us to determine who we are. And it's just like oil and vinegar. When you put it together, you can shake it up and it will mix together, but you can rest assured that it conforms back to its originality. It separates. It's not going to stay together. And so looking at yourself in the mirror and asking yourself, who do I see in the mirror, is when we have to step back from the world. Because in my other podcast, I've talked about how the world has conditioned us in our subconscious mind, in our psyche, to be someone and somebody who we're not. We've taken on all of these programmings, conditionings, what our society has said, be it capitalism, be it economics, be it the color of your skin, be it your background, education, no education. It doesn't matter, generational, what everybody in my family did. But when you begin to look in the mirror and you ask your own self, who do I see in the mirror? So it's time now to see who you see. Who do you say that you are? And when you begin to take that deep dive into yourself and you begin to think critically and you begin to sit with yourself and ask yourself this question too. Am I living or am I just surviving? Now let's make that distinction here. When you are surviving, you are always in need. I need this. I need this. I need this. When everything that you need, actually, we have the ability to already bring that into existence. So we need to take that word from our vocabulary because I am everything that I need. And some of you may be saying, well, Essence Evolve, how do you explain that I have everything that I need when I know that, quote, 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 I have things that I need to do? Well, I'm glad you wondered that. And I'm glad that you perhaps are asking yourself that. It's very simple. It's called choice. It's called choice. What do I choose to do with this person that I see in the mirror? Am I going to choose to follow what is outside of me that has told me and programmed me as far as who I am and who I am not? Or am I going to now stand on my own square now that I have gone inside of myself and have identified certain traumas in my life that has caused me to be stagnant or to be not moving or not being mobile, or has caused my emotions to cause me to go 10 steps forward but 50 steps backwards? You see, that's in the survivor mode, because I'm looking for something outside of me to satisfy my inner being. And the only person who can do that is myself. And it is called doing the work, and it's called choice. So today, tonight, wherever you may be, now we're stepping up the ladder, because we're throwing away the survival. I'm just surviving. I'm just getting along to get along. I'm just doing the best that I can. Well, now it's time to do the better than the best that you can, because now it's called accountability, it's called choice, and it's called no more surviving, now to living. Now, how do I live? I live now by telling myself the truth about the person who I see in the mirror, who I see in the mirror. I am more than what I have been told. I am more than what I have even told myself. So now I'm taking these steps forward, because now I am moving the right foot and I'm moving the left foot. I'm moving my mind. I am thinking. I am no more in lack. It may not exist right now, but you better rest assured, when I start thinking critically, then I begin to say to myself, what do I need to do? Notice I say it because I've looked at myself in the mirror and I've seen my power. I've seen my potential. I have put aside every weight that has caused me to be cemented in my own darkness of my own mind. So I've put aside those things. And now I'm going to live. I'm going to live the life that I have envisioned even as a child. Now let's break that down for a second. All of us, every last one of us, somewhere in our childhood, we had a very, very imaginative mind. We had these little play friends that we didn't see, but we talked to them, we played with them. We used our imagination to say, oh, I'm going to be an astronaut one day. I'm going to be a pilot one day. I'm going to have my own studio where people come in and make music and do podcasts. You didn't just get up yesterday and thought that. Somewhere within you, the real you, the you inside of you had an imagination. And as long as you're surviving, what you imagine is not going to manifest. And you know why? Because your emotions and the thoughts outside of you that you allow to stay in your subconscious mind will cause you to take one step forward, but 50 steps backwards, because you think that you're still in a survival mode versus now living and said, I am going to do this. I don't know where the money is coming from, but I'm powerful enough that I can cause the money to come forward. And how is it going to come forward? That I'm going to do what I need to do, as long as it doesn't go against my conscience or the conscience of someone else. It's called get up and go and do. It's called get up and go and use your power. It's called stop being needy. Stop having pity parties. Stop having these woe is me. See, all of that is survival. And you know, when you are in survival mode, you don't take time for yourself. You don't take time to sit with yourself. You don't do the things that make you happy. See, you in survival mode, because remember I talked about a while back on a podcast that you have become a people pleaser, and you have allowed other people's dreams and visions and hopes and all these things to come before you, because you're surviving. You're not living in your own truth. And what else happens is when you are not being honest with yourself and seeing who you see in the mirror, your power, your potential, then guess what else you begin to do? You begin to self-sabotage yourself, because you haven't fully stopped and thought about and walked into your self-acceptance. Now, how does that parallel with living and being in need? When you're in need, you haven't accepted yourself because you're still trying to mirror what the world says. You're still trying to be and look like what the world says be and look like. You're trying to copycat what everybody else is wearing, what everybody else is saying, what everybody else is doing. That is not you. That is the script for someone else. That's why when you're trying to copycat what everyone else is doing, whether it's their hairstyle, whether it's their clothing, whether it's their shoes, whether it's their whatever, when you try to copycat something that belongs to someone else and you do it for a while, but guess what? You're so needy, you're in survival, then now I've got to go do something else. And you know why you have to do something else? Because that's not your authentic self. And so as you look into the mirror, ask yourself, what is my authentic self? And that is where you continue to go down on the inside of yourself and find you. What do you like? What is your passion? What is your mission? What is it that you don't like? What is it that you don't want to do? Because if you continue that path, being in need, you'll wear two left shoes on your feet and your feet will begin to hurt. And that's because you're not supposed to wear two left shoes. I mean, in theory, you wear a right shoe and a left shoe because shoes were designed to fit a right foot and a left foot. If I put on two left shoes on both my feet, I'm going to walk around awkward and my whole body is going to be out of alignment because that is not me. And I tell you something else. When you look in the mirror and when you're asking yourself, who is it that I see? And you move from being in need, then guess what you start to do now? You begin to equip your own self to thine own self be true. So, Essence Evolve, what do you mean when you say that I begin to equip my own self? I mean this by that. Whatever it takes for you to do to go from step one to step two, because see the pattern, you see the cycle, you see the movement in this. So whatever that you need to do, maybe, excuse me, 1 second, get some water, and that's okay. Got excited. So you say, Essence Evolve, what is it that I need to do to take one step forward? Find myself, self-actualization. How do I make this happen? Well, then you may need to do some research. You may need to network. No person is an island unto themselves. These things that I do and that I've always done, I knew and I know that I cannot bring it about by myself. But I have the wisdom enough to know that I have to find people that are on the same vibration or that have the same energy that I have. And what I mean by that is that they have my greatest good in mind. So as you are moving into your space of finding you inside of you, then find people that are like-minded, that think as you do. You don't want someone to say, oh, well, girl, oh, well, man, oh, well, boy, oh, well, whoever. It's okay. It's okay. Personally, I don't roll with people that says, well, Essence Evolve, well, it's okay. You're doing the best that you can. No, I want people to say, you know what? You need to get up and you need to have a plan. You need to have a focus. You need to go and do this, 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 and this. I don't need anybody to say to me, well, it's okay. You did your best. Or, well, maybe it wasn't for you. Or maybe you miss God. No, I didn't miss God and I didn't miss any of that. I just know that I have to be around the same kind of people that are going to fan the flame that's already within me. Because if you're not careful, like attracts like. And what do I mean by that? If you're trying to move, no, I'm going to retract that. If you're moving from survival to living, you don't want to be around people that just want to stay in that same low vibration as you. Well, it's okay. Maybe that wasn't you. Maybe that wasn't God. Maybe you just need to just stay right here and do this because you're not doing too bad right here. No. When you on the move and when you have looked in this mirror and when you have found yourself inside of yourself, then you want to be on the move to find people that are encouraging, people that are going to tell you the truth, people that are going to hold you accountable, and people that are going to help you to cross the bridge to that what you saw. So the self-acceptance has to come into place as you are moving from just surviving to living. Because see, I accept myself now. I have put away those things that no longer served me because I'm in the truth now. I am in my truth now. And as a matter of fact, let me tap into that a little bit. When I am into my truth, I'm telling my own self the truth because I'm seeing where things that I brought upon my own self, to thine own self be true. And so I have to deal with that part of myself too. And then you're multitasking because just because I made a mistake here, that had nothing to do with my destiny. Remember, I talked a little bit about the difference between fate and destiny. It has nothing to do with my destiny because sometimes we do have to go back and retract. Sometimes we do have to go back and see, well, this didn't work and maybe I should go this way. Or the lesson learned was I should have followed my gut feeling in the first place. And it's okay as long as you're still moving forward with that part of you that you found inside of you. And another thing that you have to do, you have to begin to walk in self love because once you have self acceptance, now you're walking into self love. And then you're going to be able to express yourself because when you find you inside of you and when you begin to tell yourself the truth, and when you begin to disassociate with yourself with things that did not serve you for your greater good, be it the outside world or be it your inner world, old things have passed away now. And now I'm beginning to express my divine self. And what am I saying about express my divine self? My divine self has never been broken. My divine self has never been something that I needed to fix. My divine self is who I came here as being already. And so when you leave today from this podcast, I want you to leave with beginning to look at yourself in the mirror, in a real mirror. When you wash your face or brush your teeth or passing by a mirror, let my voice be a little chip on your shoulder to say, who is it? Who is this person that I see in the mirror? And I'll model that for you with myself. Essence Evolve, you just got up. And the first thing you did was look at yourself in the mirror. Because usually the first place we go is to the bathroom. Essence Evolve, you have come a long, long ways. And yes, Essence Evolve, I know that certain things have happened to you in your life. And it wasn't really a pretty picture, but you've done a lot of self-healing within yourself. And you've gotten over a lot of traumatic things that happened in your life. But you know what, Essence Evolve? You have come such a long ways that you love yourself now. And so now you are telling yourself the truth. This is who you are. So let's practice Essence a little bit with you looking at yourself in the mirror. Who do you say that you are now? I am powerful. I am divine. I am on a mission. I have answered my call. I am a very passionate person. I am a loving person. I give love and I receive love. I am tall within my own self. I am strengthened every day that I look at you, Essence Evolve, because guess what? You never gave up. There were times that you thought that you gave up, but you know what, Essence Evolve? You never gave up. And I'm going to prove it to you that you never gave up. Okay? Looking at me in the mirror, and I'm looking at you in the mirror, Essence Evolve. And you tell these people to start looking at themselves in the mirror and letting them know that there is nothing wrong with them. Things have happened in their life, and yes, it did, but it wasn't there to destroy you unless you allow it to destroy you. Take the lesson and ask yourself, what lesson am I supposed to learn for whatever happened to me in my life? And leave them with this, Essence Evolve. Tell them that they are more than they give themselves credit for, and to stop looking outside of themselves for affirmation and confirmations from the world. Because guess what? You're never going to get it from out there. True living, true destiny, true yourself is always going to come from within. And then you begin to live from within and you live outward, because now you know how to live among the herd. And now you know how to decipher and to discern while you are living with the wheat and the tares. Because now you know who you are. And as you look in this mirror and you continue to tell yourself who you are and who you are not, and it will go well with you. So this is Essence Evolve. Take time to look at yourself in the mirror. Take time to tell yourself the truth. And we'll see you again on the next podcast of Finding You Inside of You.